Now that the writers' strike is over, we could be seeing an end to the actors' strike fairly soon as well, as reports have come out that the actors and the studios could set to meet in the next coming days before the end of next week. This comes to us from the folks over at Deadline who wrote the following. They said, as the WGA leadership and members move forward on the Scribes tentative agreement with the studios and streamers, the 160,000 member strong actors union could be sitting down with the AMPTP, that's the studios, within days. Riding the momentum that has hit Hollywood since the WGA and the Alliance of Motion Pictures and Television Producers struck a deal on September 24th, SAG-AFTRA, that's the actors, leaders have penciled in meetings with the Carol Lombardi-led group by the end of next week, we hear. And that again comes to us from Deadline. Rob, we've been saying, as we've been looking at the developments happening with the Writers Guild, was that the double good news back, what we were saying last week was if a deal gets done this weekend, and of course it did, but the double good news is not only is the writer strike over, hopefully whatever that deal is will lay a little bit of a framework that the studios and the actors can take. Obviously some things don't apply, but a number of principles do apply, that they can use that as a framework and a launching point for getting their deal done. I think, Rob, that listen, there's a lot of actors who are fed up with not acting. There's a lot of shareholders with studios that are fed up with stuff not being in development. We've got positive momentum. The WGA strike is settled. I actually think within 2 weeks, we're going to get a deal. Nobody else is telling me that. I'm just saying, I feel like with the momentum going, with the fact that the actors saying we're going to meet within the next couple of days, I think there's momentum. I think that everybody wants to capitalize on this. And I think we're going to get a deal in the next 2 weeks. And I think that this business is going to get back into motion again. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mint Mobile. Signing your life away to a big wireless provider is kind of like being trapped on a roller coaster from hell. Sure, it looks like fun at first. They probably even threw in a free phone, but now you can't get off. Month after month of insane bills and unexpected thrills, like overages and surprise fees. If that sounds like your current big wireless plan, it's time to get off the ride with Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are just $15 a month. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for just $15 a month. You guys know before I came to Mint Mobile, I was paying triple what I am paying now on the standard big wireless plan, and I will never go back. All plans come with unlimited talk, text, and high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. To get your new unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped right to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Am I being overly optimistic? Am I getting too happy about the WGA deal? What do you think is going to happen here?
No, I don't think you're being too optimistic. I mean, I think now that the DGA and the WGA are leading the way, that SAG needs to step up and people need to listen to what their needs are. And I think a deal will get made because, you know, we're still not back to work. The writers might be writing, but that's, you know, a writer's room. What about your entire production crew? You know, everybody, like, you know, Gavin Newsom talks about businesses going bust. It's not just the people that work on productions, it's all the other businesses that services the production.
Yeah.
I mean, everything from catering to expendables to, you know, lumber companies to build sets,
services,
everything, all that stuff. The camera, the rental houses. I mean, there's so many different businesses, especially in places like Georgia and here in California, that we need these businesses to go back to work. So there's a real, I think, incentive to get this business, which is a huge export business for the United States, for the rest of the world, to get cooking.
You know, we were saying last week that, and I was saying earlier this week, that it's not a coincidence that for the first time that the WGA and the studios actually negotiated 5 days in a row. They actually got in a room for 5 days in a row. It's not a coincidence they did that and a deal got done.
Right.
That's what needs to happen with Fran Drescher and Bob Iger and Ted Sandros and David Zaslav. They need to get in a room, close the door, and someone on the outside, I don't care if it's the governor of California or whatever, someone needs to be on the outside of the door and says, we're not opening this door until you slip a signed deal under the door on a piece of paper and say you guys have come to a conclusion. Because, Rob, here's the thing. I was talking about this the other day. That writer's strike lasted 148 days. Do you know how many days they actually met in the same room together over those 148?
Not very many.
9. That includes the 5 days that they did marathon meetings with and finally came to a deal. If these guys can do the same thing, I feel very good that we could get an actors deal done. Hopefully it'd be as fair and as down the line as the writers one was. And we could hear about Deadpool 3 going back into production like within 2 weeks, which would be maybe that's overly optimistic, but I choose to be the optimistic guy this week. I'm not going to be the wet blanket guy today. I am the optimistic, everything's going to be fine guy today. So that's what I'm holding on to. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.